G'day, I'm Andrew Marshall with the Northern Australia Climate Program at the University of Southern Queensland. And this is a short summary of the Bureau of Meteorology's climate outlook for the northern half of Western Australia for the weeks and months ahead, issued in the few days leading up to the 21st of December 2025. And we'll take a look at these rainfall outlooks to begin with, starting with the outlook scenarios here. And these are the rainfall totals that have a 75% chance of occurring for your region. So looking ahead to the 3 months from January to March, we're seeing a 75% chance of up to about 50 millimetres or so for eastern parts of the Gascoyne, exceeding 100 millimetres for parts of the Pilbara, between 200 and 400 millimetres for southern parts of the Kimberley, increasing to more than 600 millimetres for parts of the northern Kimberley. And you can use this magnifying glass feature right here to drill deeper into the forecast, specifying your location of interest, and to break the forecast down into the chance of different rainfall amounts occurring. And this gives you an idea of how conditions are likely to be compared to the historical median. Your local climate mate will be happy to go through this with you in more detail. So now taking a look at the Bureau's northern rainfall totals since the 1st of September, and the large areas in green indicate where more than 50 millimetres of rain has fallen. This is about the amount of rainfall required to stimulate plant growth. And as you can see, most of the Kimberley has now exceeded 50 millimetres of rain for the season. Okay, now looking at temperatures, and the differences from average from maximum temperature here show cooler conditions of around 1 degree below average for much of the Kimberley for the 2 weeks from the 25th of December to the 7th of January. And here the average is calculated over the 1981 to 2018 period for this time of year. And for minimum temperature here, we're looking at mostly warmer than average conditions over the next 2 weeks from Christmas Day onwards. Okay, looking at the chance of extremes map for the 3 months from January to March, we're seeing an elevated chance of unusually warm days for western parts of the state, particularly the western Gascoyne and the western Pilbara regions, as shown here, and an elevated chance of unusually warm nights across Western Australia. And by unusually warm, we mean the highest 20% of historical temperature records for this time of year, based on the 1981 to 2018 period. Now remember, these long-range forecasts for rainfall and temperature provide the best guidance for local climate, so that is our focus as always. These forecasts consider all ocean and atmosphere conditions that affect seasonal weather and climate. But if, like me, you are interested in some of the climate indicators that can influence the forecasts, we will have a quick look at these now. And La Nina is underway in the tropical Pacific. The Bureau's model currently predicts La Nina will remain until early 2026 before returning to neutral. And this timing aligns with most international models assessed. The negative Indian Ocean Dipole event, or the IOD, has been weakening since late October, and it's near its end. And the Bureau's model predicts a return to neutral IOD during December, which is consistent with most international models. The Madden-Julian Oscillation, or the MJO, has been weak in recent days, but it's forecast to strengthen over the Maritime Continent region, including Northern Australia, in the last week of December. And this is coinciding with forecasts of above median rainfall across the north and may indicate the arrival of monsoon conditions before the end of the year, something for us to keep a close eye on in the coming days. The Southern Annular Mode, or the SAM, has been strong in its negative phase recently, following a stratospheric warming event over Antarctica in the spring. SAM has returned to neutral in the last week and is forecast to remain neutral through to at least mid-January. And the sea surface temperature outlook here is also likely to be influencing the forecast for Australia. This has shown warmer than average waters around much of Australia. It's likely to continue in January through March, with warming of around 1 degree or more predicted in the Tasman Sea. Now returning to the pasture growth outlook from Long Paddock for the 3 months from December to February, we are expecting to see pasture growth across Northern Australia, as shown here, with some large areas of high growth predicted in the coming months. And finally, looking at the Cattle Comfort Index prototype forecast at nacp.org.au, index values between 30 and 35 degrees represent moderate stress for cattle. Values between 35 and 40 degrees represent severe stress, and values above 40 degrees are considered extreme. And we are expecting varying heat stress conditions over Northern Australia, with some severe and extreme conditions to be aware of in the days ahead. As always, for more information and updates, visit the Bureau's climate pages at bom.gov.au/climate. If you have any questions about recent conditions or the use of weather and climate forecasts, please reach out to your local climate mate. You can read more about the Northern Australia Climate Program at nacpi.org.au. Have a safe and happy holiday season, and I'll see you again in the new year.